Don't worry about the bits of coolant there. It's not to do with the water pump or anything. It's just because we undone the air coolant tap here and it's just run down. So I'm hoping now I can just release this timing pulley, which is the bolt down there, and just take the tension off this, and not needing to take the whole basically timing belt off, because it would be a bit of a pain. And I can save a bit of time here by just slackening that off, moving this belt off to the side, but keep some tension on it. I'll put a grabber up here or something, keep tension on it, just so it can't slip off a tooth on the bottom. And I'll mark the belt with the pulley, or the pulley on here, so I know that when I put it back on, the belt lines back up with that particular tooth on that pulley. And then when I put everything back on here, everything will be as it should be. That's the plan. Right, what next? Next is to take off the tandem pump on this side. So I think there's only about 2 bolts holding this on. Just undo them, move the tandem pump out the way, because that's obviously driven by the camshaft as well. So then when I take the timing belt off and I take all the cam caps off, I can just lift the cam straight out. There is a method where you can actually leave this in situ and kind of shoehorn it in and out, but it's a bit dodgy. For the sake of undoing a couple of bolts, I might as well get that tandem pump off. So that'll be the next thing, see you in a moment. Okay, so at this stage now, you can see I've undone the timing pulley from the top, which is took it away from the, it's basically the end of the drive, if you like, from the camshaft. So that's suspended, so we can't jump a tooth or anything on the bottom of the crank. My marks are lined up there, so that's fine, just in case it comes off that. I've disconnected the tandem pump off the end, so you can see that's now free. You can see the actual 2 prongs, if you like, what go into the camshaft for the drive for the tandem pump. So again, I'll put a bungee on that just to keep it well out the way, just so it doesn't move. And then it's just simply undo the caps now. So I'll start again from the outer, work my way inside, just taking the stress evenly off the camshaft, even though we're replacing it. However, just take them off in order. Back to front. Okay, the next video you see will be the camshaft removed and on the table, and I'll show you the difference between the old one and the new one, as well as the buckets, which we'll be replacing. I can already see myself that this lobe here has basically gone flat totally. It should be pointed like that, but you can see there it's flat, so I'm expecting certainly that bucket to be totally worn through, but certainly the camshaft is. Anyway, let's get it out and compare the two. See you in a more. Okay, so we've got the camshaft out now. I've just put the bearing caps upside down and rested it on, just so you can see the lobes on the actual cams themselves. So the worst one, as is on all of these, is normally this last one here. Now if I look at it from the side profile, look at that there compared to that. Believe it or not, that is meant to look like that. So you can see how worn that is. Yeah. So that's a good example there of how badly worn these become. Now the main reason for these is people not putting the correct oil in, the PD oil. It's one of the reasons. The other reason is possibly because it's bad on all these kind of engines. It might be the last lobe that gets lubricated from the engine. So again, it could accelerate wear, but that's horrendous. It's actually got you can see there that oval shape. That's actually, I feel that with my finger. It's beveled. Yeah, so it's absolutely distraught. All the rest don't look too bad, but that's the reason why this engine was sounding like a bag of spanners. Now you can obviously see the new camshaft there. All the lobes are all uniformed and exactly how they should be. So just got to replace these now, swap them over. There is shell bearings here. which I've got to replace, which sit in the bottom of the caps here. Lift that out there. Yes, you can see them in there. So I need to replace all them. And the same in here. Basically these caps here, need to knock these out, put new ones in. Now the other thing that needed replacing because of the wear is the buckets. So you see now, just clean that one off. So that bucket there, the end one, totally gone. In fact, if I lift this out, can't get it out for this shell bearing, move that shell bearing out the way. Okay, so bring that over to the table. Yeah, well and truly worn that, so it was just about to go through. Yeah, you see there it's starting to. In fact, it has started to go because there's a bit of oil there now. So it started to work its way through. So you can see how worn that is. Again, we've got all new buckets to put in. All four, so they're easy enough. We just I'll just take all these shell bearings off, and then we just basically lift all these buckets out and then put new ones in. Right, I'll get all that whipped out and get back to you in a bit. Okay, so getting there. So all the caps, I've put the new shell bearings in, as you can see. Before I do install it, I'll put some cam lube on all the surfaces, just so it's got a film of oil. So when we start it up for the first time, they're going to get lubricated and not worn out before the engine oil gets to them. So yeah, important that we do that. These are all the old buckets. It was really only that one that was damaged. If I look at it from a side profile again, to one that isn't damaged. Light's not very good on that, so you can get the flash on. Not great. Let's keep them that way and have a look. There we go. So you can see how that's totally concaved, the right hand one compared to the left where it's nice and flat. Again, that was the one where the worn cam was on. Yeah, so champion. So in here I've got the new buckets in place. They've all been pre-lubricated. They come pre-lubricated, to be honest, in little containers, obviously to prevent them starting to rust whilst they're in storage or transit. And you gain the new shell bearings in here, so new shell bearings, new buckets, all the way across. Okay, next job is to transfer the pulley on the end and the oil seal, which I've got the new oil seals here somewhere. Here we are. So we've got two to install. One's there. So yeah, it's over to the workbench now. I've got to get the 18mm bolt off, put my pulleys on and pull this off. You do actually get a specific Volkswagen tool to do this while this is still in situ, but the cam's knackered, so I can just put it in the vise and you know, use some brute force and get that off. No bother at all. And then obviously be careful when I'm installing it onto the new one, clearly. Right, so off to the workbench. Right then, new cam's in place. I haven't torque tightened the new stretch bolts down yet. I've just basically done them hand tight, but it's closed it all up, so I know it's all seated correctly. We can see I've still got the tandem pump off at the moment. Put the new gasket on there. This side I can now put the timing belt cog, if you like, or gear back onto the drive there, and then put the bolts on. Make sure everything's still lined up as it should be. And then that's that stage done. Then I'll start doing the torque tightening, and then I can put the rocker back on for the injectors. Right, it's getting dark. Got my lights on. So all the timing belt is back on, tensioned up. So I'll put everything back together now. All the auxiliary pulley on, inner arch, wheel back on. So I can just concentrate on the top now. I've put the tandem pump back on. I've put the airbox back on. Clips are back on them. Clip. So it's just start torque tightening now. So I've got to torque tighten the bearing caps, then put on the rockers for the fuel injections. Again, torque tighten them down, and then I can put the cover back on. Connect everything back up, start up, and see if we have a fix. Catch you in a more dilly dilly.